There we go. What is it? The Daily Purge. The Daily Purge, right? Can't say it anymore? How are you doing? It's Friday, ready to rock and roll. Make it a great weekend. Hope you're doing fantastic. Great to see you with us. Today I want to talk about something that's very clear. Very clear for me, but for many it's not. And that's know thyself and hear thyself. The rules to proper delivery. Most get this wrong, and they do get it wrong. And you'll hear it all the time on live Clubhouse or live, interviews or things like that, is that people don't know when to stop, right? They don't hear themselves. So of course, when you get asked a question, you want to dump as much information as possible so that you can give as much information as possible, especially if you're selling a product, right? So a lot of people who sell products will go into this massive thing thinking, okay, I got 30 seconds to pack as much information in as possible so that if there's anyone out there, I can throw a big wide net and maybe catch one or two, right? Well, that's generalization. First of all, it doesn't work very good for catching your target audience. Hey, Ryan, how you doing, brother? Olga, good to see you. And so the thing that I always like to concentrate on is what are three things that someone can take away? As you know, the brain, the human brain remembers in groups of three. So there's three things you should always say. Okay, guys, today, okay, you asked me a question. Well, I got three things for your answer. Or I got one thing with three parts to it. And whatever. That way you stay concise. And also, if you're going on stage, if you're on interviews, you need to practice a little bit. You need to know what you're going to talk about, and you have a concise message. And that comes down to your branding language, right? Your branding language is your mission, your vision, your value proposition. You get those three right, you can talk about anything all the time and always weave that into it. So you know the people I'm talking about. They get on stage in, let's say, Clubhouse, and they just go. You ask a question, they don't answer it. They just start talking about themselves, about what they think, about how you feel, and no one can get a word in edgewise, and the moderator doesn't want to butt in because they don't want to be rude, and 15 minutes later, they're still talking. So how do you get around that? Well, have a concept and realize that, be self-aware that there's probably 200 other people or 1,000 other people in the room that want to speak as well. So do you want to hog that time because you're egotistical? Do you want to hog that time because you're not thinking about it at all? Or you just want to do as much as possible for generalization out there so you can catch as many people as possible, or to up your own ego? In the end, you're only hurting yourself if you don't, be concise and have people walk away with something tangible that they can do, right? Tangible, so what they can do. So what I'm asking you today, I'm going to tell you today, tangible things to do is know what you're talking about, right? Know exactly what you're talking about as far as what you're going to say about what you're talking about. What are three things that you can say about, let's say, for instance, I'm saying today I want to talk about being a great speaker. Stephen, how do you be a great speaker? I'll tell you how to be a great speaker. So the first thing you need, one out of three things I'm going to tell you today, there's one thing you need. One thing you need is to know that you don't have to go out on stage, welcome, and thank you for being there. You were just introduced, just walk out and start. One. Two, have your silver bullet message. What's the one thing that carries through like a red thread through the entire speech? What is it? Or the interview? What's that one thing that you can keep coming back to? For us, it's the humble alpha. I weave everything into humble alpha, right? So being direct about that. And three, ending your interview or whatever with a bang, right? So what's the thing that you want people to remember? That's what's going to come at the end, because they remember the end better. So you got three steps and you got the end. When I gave a speech, for instance, in Baby Bathwater back in Croatia in 2019, I said PPR, problem, product, resolution. I said HIT, honesty, integrity, transparency, and I said PPS, people, procedures, and structures. And those three things that hey, what's up, Jacob? Those are the three things that I delivered, and I delivered them three times in three different ways, with stories and explanations and scenarios. So that when I walked away, people said, "Man, that speech was amazing," because I remember PPR, PPS, and the HIT. They remembered those, right? And I ended it with a bang with a story from the Army about how that HIT was born and that kind of stuff. When you're in Clubhouse, when you're on a podcast interview, have something to say that actually leads to something. Right? Don't just talk, right? Have something to say that leads to something that adds value, elevates others, gets them interested, has them taking action, has them feeling like they've achieved something. Hey, Chris, how's it going, brother? Hey, Steve, keep smiling, brother. Maybe add in a stat that is pertinent. Exactly. Anything that adds to it, but don't keep adding. Know what you're going to say beforehand. Like when I'm asked on Clubhouse in the Breakfast of Champions, I know what I'm going to say. They ask a question that has like 15 different sort of facets. I'll pick one and I'll go with that. Maybe I'll add a second one, depending on how fast it is. But I'm known for that. going in, hey, everybody, how you doing? I don't go in, hey, how's it going? Nice to be here. Wonderful to be here. I'm so honored to be here. You're all so great. I love you all. The favorite people on the planet, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. All that fluff is gone. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Thanks for having me. This is Steven. This is what I want to say. Bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3 things or one thing, right? And then thank you very much. Ciao. Done, right? And what that does is people ask me all the time, how did you get so many followers, or how do you have people? And that's because I'm not am always present. I'm in one room, and that's it. We now have a special room on Fridays for the book, but besides that, I'm in one room. And in that room, I build my influence and I build my almost scarcity in that room, because I'm there and then I leave, and I'm there and I leave and I leave. So I'm, it's a 5-hour room. I'm there maybe half an hour in the morning, half an hour in midday, half an hour in the afternoon because of my schedule. But what that does is when I come on, people are like, oh, Steve, here, let's ask my question. You see what I'm saying? But if I hawk on stage all day, if I squat on stage all day, I'm just another face that's up there all the time, right? So it's not only how you deliver your message, but it's how accessible are you, right? Are you accessible all the time? Are you the person that everyone can see everywhere? Well, that gets old, right? And it sucks the heck out of your time. So when you're delivering that message, right? When you're delivering that message, make sure you do it in groups of 3. You do 3, 6, or 9, how long they are, right? Some people say odd numbers, some people say even numbers, but psychologically and speaking, it's 3, groups of 3, just like you sleep in cycles of 90 minutes. So you can literally go to bed dead tired and time it, pass out and time it for 90 minutes. You wake up, you're going to feel refreshed. If you wake up in 97 minutes, you won't feel refreshed. It's crazy. I used to do it in the Army. That's how I know. All right. I hope that helped you. Look, being a communicator is so key. If there's one thing that I get, one comment that I get more than anyone, it's how the certainty in your voice is what really got me. That's why I wanted to talk to you. Your certainty in your voice, and the certainty comes from knowing what the hell you're talking about, right? All right, Tracy. It comes from knowing what you're talking about, and that doesn't only mean practicing. That it means working what it is you want to say about what it is you want to do or sell or buy or whatever it is. Have certainty in that voice, because in the end, like I always say, people are buying into your certainty. They're not necessarily buying your product or your service. All right. Boom. Have a fantastic weekend. Great to have you here. Thank you always for the support. I really do appreciate it. Have a fantastic one. Remember, it's all about quality of life. See you on Monday.